Good morning, Washington. How y'all doing, everybody? It's the 7th of August, 2012. Hey, it's a sunny day. And there we have there. See that? This is 106.7 The Fan. The Fan. All right, folks, listening to the Gamut here.
WTOP FM, HD3 Washington, and WWT FM, HD3 Manassas.
WTOP HD3. It's 103.5 HD3, and that's 107.7 HD3, and coming soon. Coming soon. You get breaking news right now. Breaking news, DCR TV. That's right, the Gamut will soon be coming to 103.9 up in Frederick. So you got the Gamut on 103.5, 107.7, and soon 103.9 HD3, okay, on those signals. It's very cool mix of just everything. Kind of reminds me of the early days of HFS back when it was on 102.3. 102.3. So anyhow, I'm looking at the Washington Post. What is the Washington Post? You know, I think their new slogan should be National Public Newspaper, huh? What's sad about this paper is, I mean, how few ads it is. Has in today's paper, Tuesday, August 7th, okay? And basically, I'm looking at a 14-page A section, okay? Now, the 14-page A section, I'm counting 3 ads in the entire 14-page A section. And the ads tend to be these tiny little ads like that, you know, which like donate your car to whatever, support our veterans. Are those even paid ads? They may just be, you know, freebies they give, you know, but there's one of those on page A2, and then we have no ad on A3, no ad on A4, and another one of those donate your car ads on A5. Again, you know, who knows, they're probably freebie little ads. And then no ads on A6 or 7, no ads on A8 or 9, no ads on 10 or 11, and then we have a full-page ad on 14, rather. Where am I missing a page here? Yeah, no ads on 12 or 13. And then a full-page restaurant ad thingy-dingy on the back. So basically 3 ads, 2 of them tiny little donate your car ads, in the entire 14 pages of the Washington Post A section. You look at Metro, and again, you know, almost no ads. There's a couple Washington Post promo things in here. You know, a public hearing for the Metropolitan Airports Authority. You know, virtually no ads in the Metro section. Then we're looking at Style, and we have, you know, just a couple of tiny little classified ads on 3, and a Washington Post promo on 7, and that's it. So basically an ad-free Style section, and guess what? Apart from this Nationals promo deal here on the Washington Post front page, there are no, okay, we do have, oh no, look at that. I thought there was an ad on page D3, because look at that big space, but it's just, it says, this paper uses recycled print. So we have this huge ad on D3 telling us the Washington Post is printed on recycled paper. So basically there's no ads on D2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and even the back page. I'll tell you, man, you know, you can literally count all the ads in the main sections of the Washington Post on one hand today. I'll tell you, you know, if your circulation's down 10% in 1 quarter, that's bad news. I'll tell you, this paper's in a lot bigger trouble than anybody's saying. I'll tell you that. It really is. Hi! Okay, so what's the other big news? Mary Katharine Ham. Remember her? She's back. She was back on the Mornings in the Mall, whatever that dumb show is on WMAL Morning Show. You know, DCR TV first and exclusively reported back in March that Mary was shown the door. You know, remember WMAL, they used to have Brian Wilson, Bryan Nehman, and Mary Katharine Ham doing the morning show, and it was kind of an uneven show, and the 3 of them don't quite balance each other well. And so they let Mary Katharine go. Now, she used to work for the Daily Caller. She works for something else now. She's often on Fox News. She's a righty. I don't know. I had some problems with her radio style. I think, so, you know, I was kind of glad to see her go. Because I just didn't think she gelled in that mix with the 2 Bryans. So now today she's back. But she's replacing Brian Wilson, who's away on vacation. And you know what? I honestly have to say, sometimes, it's like sometimes radio personalities, they're good on their own, but bad in a group or in a team, or vice versa. Bad on their own, good in a team, or whatever. Okay? Chemistry makes a lot of difference in radio. And I'll tell you something. Mary Katharine Ham and Bryan Nehman have a chemistry. Okay? They really sound good together. Mary Katharine Ham doesn't sound so good with Brian Wilson. And I'm not thrilled with the way Bryan Nehman sounds with Brian Wilson. They just don't sound great together. But when you put Mary Katharine together with Bryan Nehman, there's a kind of a coupling kind of chemistry there that makes the show kind of enjoyable. Getting rid of Brian Wilson he has kind of a vindictive, kind of a nasty streak about him. I really think it's a much better show. Honestly, Bill Hess, if you're listening, a much better show with Mary Katharine Ham and Bryan Nehman. It just works better. Bryan Nehman is the faux conservative, F-A-U-X. I don't really think he's a true conservative, but he plays one on the radio, and that's okay. I think Rush Limbaugh does the same thing. But, Mary Katharine is a true conservative. You can tell it in her kind of her weird ways of thinking. But they fit together well. It's a conservative show. They lean to the right, but there's none of that vindictive crap that Wilson brings to the show. And it was the stuff that, Mrs. Fred brought to the show back, I don't know, back when there was the Grandy and Grandy and whatever the hell it was show. I like the show when they get rid of the vindictive crap. I don't mind the conservative stuff. That's fine. But I don't like this vindictive personal stuff. So basically, I think if I was running WMAL right now, I would say, pairing Bryan Nehman with a Y, Bryan Nehman, and Mary Katharine Ham would be very good. I'd bring higher, and I'd get rid of Wilson. I don't know. Wilson just... There's something about that guy. He used to be a great newsman. He was for many years at Channel 5, and I always liked Brian Wilson. And I know even when he was at Fox News, I didn't agree with a lot of what Fox News did. He was a good, solid news guy. He doesn't work as a propagandist. He just doesn't work. I know he's a right-winger, but he just doesn't work doing that propagandist morning show. He comes across kind of this heavy-handed, fatherly figure, and it just rubs me the wrong way. So I would say, hire Mary Katharine Ham back, pair her with Bryan Nehman. That's a good morning pairing. I like the pairing there. It works well. Okay? That's what I would do there at WMAL. Now, if you liked Andy and Grandy, remember the old WMAL morning team, they're going to be back for one day on Thursday from 3 to 6 on WTNT. What's WTNT? It's a radio station. You get it at 7:30 a.m. throughout most of the Washington area. And you can also hear it on 102.9 in parts of Northern Virginia. They have a transmitter there in Chantilly, Fairfax. So if you're in central Fairfax County, you can kind of hear 102.9. Otherwise, 7:30 a.m. And it's between 3 and 6. The signal will be great. It's a good signal. But you can listen to Fred. Now, Fred hasn't been doing much radio since he got bounced from WMAL last year. We wonder, will Mrs. Fred be there? The kooky Mrs. Fred. Who knows? But Andy Parks does the afternoon show on WTNT. We're at from the Washington Times building. Washington Times is a pretty crappy paper. It's sad. The Washington Post, I still think, generally speaking, is a pretty good paper. The news section is pretty good. I still think it has a good A section. The style section is pretty horrid, but the sports and the news section and the Metro section are pretty damn good. But it's sad to see this paper just shrinking and shrinking right before our eyes. It's going down the tubes pretty quick. But you look in Washington, and you got the awful Washington Times, which is a piece of crap, and then the Washington Examiner, which is a joke. Washington Examiner has some good things about it. It's a quick read. I like the style of it. I like the tabloid format. I like that it's free, but it's just loaded with that stupid Philip Anschutz right-wing nuttiness, and it just ruins the paper. It's like, ugh. So anyhow, that's what I think. That's what I think. All right, folks, that's the big news. So Bill Hess over there at MAL, I really think Mary Katharine Ham, Bryan Nehman, good morning team. Say bye-bye Wilson. That's what I think. The Gamut playing there on WTOP 103.5 HD3, 107. Check it out if you're down there in Manassas and Fredericksburg, 107.7 HD3, and coming soon to Fredericks 103.9. So there. Aloha. Stay safe. Be there. Book 'em, Dano.